Hi guys, it's Brigitte. It's Saturday morning and right down to the wire I did finish my entry for Roxy's Travelogue, which is Cowgirls, and I think it's too big for me to show like as a whole, whatever you can see, but I will try to explain like piece by piece. This side, she had included photos and little things if we wanted to use them in our journals. But what I did was I took a piece of the one of the new Tim Holtz Distress paper pads in the solid. I think it's the Distress Ink paper pack. And I traced out the boot, and two boots actually did fit on one piece, so I was psyched because there's only one piece of every color in that paper pack. And I embossed it with one of my, I don't know if I think it's actually an Alterations Sizzix embossing folder. And I lined it, I went over it with vintage photo and some black soot to make it look like how your boots get when you're pulling them with jeans and stuff. Over time it gets dirty and washed, well, not washed, but like really vintagey looking. So I'm happy with the way that came out. And then this piece I think is from the Tattered Time paper collection, and the little accent on the heels is what I cut off from the initial transparency that she gave all of us. So both pieces were up here, one up here and one down here, and I cut them off and put them for the heel as an accent. And then for her not stirrup, oh my god, what do you call these? It'll come to me. I did a brad before I even attached the paper to the boots. I actually did this in the right order this time. After learning from so many of my mistakes, I put a little one of Tim Holtz's short brads with his chain, and this is a Marion Smith flower. And what I did was there's an eyelet under the flower instead of putting it under the brad here so that you couldn't see it. I don't remember who I saw that from initially, that technique. But what it did was it raised the flower so it twirls. But they're not called studs. Oh my gosh, what are these things called on the cowboy's boot? Spurs. Aha, spurs. So anyway, what I did here was I had put I had cut out the Alterations hanging sign piece, colored it in espresso paint dauber, and then went over it with this, what color is this? Champagne. The Glimmer Glaze. And it gave a nice subtle effect instead of like a rub and buff or a gold tone, that would have been a little too harsh for the project, for the idea I was going for anyway. So this opens this way. Now I had pictures of myself way many years ago as a cowgirl for Halloween and doing a lot of jumping as far as like horse shows, but I asked my parents and I couldn't find those pictures. So what I did was I just wrote a little bit about what I love, which is horses and working on the horse farm, and in exchange for lessons. And this is a piece, it almost looks like the desert, like an arid, crackled ground. And that was the transparency that she included for us. So I know that I'm probably not explaining all this stuff right, but if you guys have any questions as to what I did, just let me know and I'll try to explain it in the comments so that everybody can read it. Oh, wow. I'll fix that bow. I spend so much time like futzing around with a bow, and then I wind up untying it anyway. So, and then this page, what I did was the same thing with this, with the spur. I used one of her images that she sent in the pack. I sprayed it with, I think, iridescent gold, and then I went over it with vintage photo and black soot. Put one of these I Am Roses cherry blossoms that I also touched up with that champagne glimmer glaze. And then I had these, I found them at AC Moore. They were stickers that said cowgirl and cowboy, but this, you know, the alphas were in different shapes. So I took the cowboy sheriff's badge, and I think this was from the cowgirl. So I cut out the stirrup, the horse's shoe, and tied a rope here like a lasso. And that's really it. These are just like some recollections, bling swirls, some I Am Roses. These are probably Prima and recollections mixed in with the I Am Roses. And I think that's really it. I don't know why it took me so long deliberating how to decorate and design, but once I really decided what my pages were going to look like, it only took a few days here and there to put together. So that's my entry. And in the back she had us post our wanted signs. I think this is fired brick that I distressed here, filled out my information, and I'm sending this today on its way to Sharon. So thanks for stopping by, and like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I know I wasn't like terribly clear on some of the stuff that I used. But anyway, I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend, and see you soon. Bye.